Hello everyone, welcome back. So it's Sunday night once again, and as you can see, FTR3 has reappeared into the workshop. As I make this video, it's about 4 p.m. on Sunday, so I'm running around frantically trying to get this done. And also you can see the GT has returned as well. Now, I know a lot of you have been asking about the GT, wanting to know where it's at and what's happening with it. So we shipped it off a couple of weeks ago to get the auto rebuilt. We knew it was playing up and had some pretty bad oil leaks, and it kind of snowballed from there. So we've got that done, and while that was getting done, we got a roadworthy check done on it, and that was manageable what it needed to get it back on the road. So we ended up doing a few odds and ends, had some new tyres on it. Obviously the oil leaks have been fixed. There's a few other bits and pieces, but it's passed a roadworthy, so I have got the car H-plate registered. It does need a lot of work still as far as the cosmetics go. We all know how rough it is in the cosmetic side of things. I mean, even on camera now you can see at the door handles how far off the colour match that they are. So that'll all happen, but I have got all this on video, and this will be shared with you in future updates. But the car has had its first drive on the road in about 15 years, which is really exciting. Even in the workshop now, the thing stinks. Everything was burning off the exhaust, and it's had a really good run. Did about 80 odd Ks in it. So I'll share that with you in future episodes, but we're really excited to see that, you know, mechanically we know where the car's at now. There's just a ton of work that's got to go on to clean up the interior and also get the body repaired. Now, back to the main part of this episode, FTR3. So it's back. The body work and everything has been done. The cage has been done. So it's all good to go from that standpoint. Now, one thing I just wanted to quickly acknowledge, there's been a lot of people throughout this journey with this car. When we announced that we had to do the cage, we've had heaps of people reach out offering help, and I just want to acknowledge everyone's, I guess, offers and support. People have offered to come in from interstate. They've offered to send us down bar notching tools and machines and all sorts of things. And I can't get back to everyone individually, but I just really want to thank you for your support. Obviously, we couldn't take up everybody on their offers of support. But you know, it hasn't gone unnoticed, and I do genuinely appreciate everyone's interest in helping us get this far with this car. So we'll have a bit of a look now where it's at. As you can see now, the car is complete as far as the cage goes. I'll backtrack a little bit and just show you how it was all put back in the car, because it is quite interesting. Trying to build the rear half back into a car that was removed some time ago was a little bit of a challenge, but we had a really good Fabby that helped us, and he's done a fantastic job. So we'll get into it now and have a look, and this is where FTR3 is up to as of tonight. So if you've been following the journey, you'll know we sent the car off a couple of weeks ago, and we sent it down to 21 Fab in Melbourne, and Grubby has helped us out, and he has done a fantastic job on the car. Now you can see the level of detail he's gone to. Like, everything is just immaculate. It's a beautiful fit, even down to little bits and pieces like the tab where the sensors sit for the cabin temperature. Everything is done exactly how it was back in 2000 and 2001. Now, all we had to go off was really the original drawings and the heap of photos that we've gathered over this journey. So we're really excited to see it back in this condition. Now you can see the first steps we had to do was just remove the very last of the ride car cage work. So if you have a look at this photo here, you can see the back of the car had that loop section. So there was a roof over the passenger's head. That was cut out and removed. And then that was the very last of it gone. And that chapter was closed for FTR3. And then it was all about making it a race car again. So you can see from there on, Grubby just got into it. He knocked it out really quickly, which was quite surprising. I mean, it was sort of taking me a month of Sundays and some to even just get the bars cut out. But he knocked it out in a really short time frame, and everything's gone back in exactly how it used to be. And started off by putting the center hoop, or the internals of that center hoop back in. So all the bars that sit behind the seat and behind the driver's head have all gone back in place. And that was shortly followed by the Larry bar. Now the Larry bar we thought was going to be straightforward. I did say a couple of weeks ago it was proving to be a little bit of a challenge. So what we had to do to make sure everything was spot on is I drove down to Melbourne with the dashboard. which you can see here. This is the original dashboard out of FTR3, and we installed it back in the car just to get a read on exactly where it sits. So that cutout section of the dash was still in exactly the right spot. So you can see the bar crosses over and goes under that diagonal bar, and it follows the whole way down into that corner, and that's exactly where it used to be. And then it is welded to this diagonal bar here, which when we ground the paint back, you could see that there was a bar welded there originally, so it's gone back in exactly the right spot. So it's really exciting to see a Larry bar back in the car after all these years. It is a big cumbersome thing, and you look at it and go, that must be a pain in the backside, but it's how it was, so it's back to how it is today. So that was really the big ticket item, I suppose, for the front of the car, and then it was all about the rear section of the cage. Now this is where all the work's gone in, so you can see all this section here behind the seat, all that bird cage area has all been reinstalled. The roll hoop section is original, so that's exactly how, like, that's original to the car, and it's everything from there back is new. The only thing that has stayed is this bar here is original with the tag, because it didn't get cut out, and these lower bars, but all the crossbars between the torque boxes have all been reinstalled. You can see we've utilised the original mounting points where they used to be. All these bars here have all been replaced, and if you stand behind the car, you can see now it looks a lot busier than it used to as a ride car, so there's a lot more going on in there. Now this used to be the rear passenger exit, or entry and exit point, and you can see there's no way you're going to get in there, so it's back to how it used to be, and it's just really exciting to see. So now the whole roll cage structure is complete. We're going to now assemble the car completely as far as the panels go. So we're going to make up every bracket, every bar mount, everything that needs to happen to the car we'll now do, so the car can be then blasted and painted. Now we don't know what we're going to do about the painting stage yet. We've got a few irons in the fire there. Obviously it's going to be quite a big job. It's trying to paint, these bars 360 is going to be quite a challenge. So it'll need to go to somebody that's had the experience doing it before, and just to make sure it presents, as we'd like it to be. Have been really lucky to speak with the guys that painted this car when it was brand new back in the year 2000, and he's given us a lot of the details. He's given us the paint codes, everything we need to make sure everything's perfect. And as we've covered off in previous episodes, this car had many coats of paint on the chassis over the years. So we've got each individual paint code, but it will go back to the white that it originally was. You can see there, that's a bit of an insight into how many coats of paint it's got on it. So really does need to be blasted and taken back to bare metal so we can get a really nice finish on the car. So there'll be a lot more content coming up on FTR3 as we move into the next phase of this restoration. But I really want to thank Grubby from 21 Fab for his really high attention to detail. The job he's done on the car is fantastic, and it wasn't under the easiest of circumstances. Trying to work with a 20-plus-year-old cage, trying to revert half it back to what it used to be, it was certainly a challenge, but the end result I'm absolutely ecstatic with. So thank you very much, Grubby. I genuinely appreciate your attention to detail. I'm sure everyone else does as well. And we'll be certainly using your services in the future when it comes to doing exhaust systems and everything that we've got to do on FTR3. He'll be helping us out in the future. So thanks everyone for your interest and support on these projects. As I said, there'll be more coming up on FTR3 shortly, more on the GT, and as the other projects progress in the workshop. Thanks again. I'll keep attacking here tonight, and we'll have more for you soon. Enjoy your week.